another great day to have a good day. Thursday, February 18th, 2021. Thank you so much for tuning in to Good Morning Grenada. Always a pleasure to have you. Those of you logged on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page, go to FET's Facebook page, Party Grenada's Facebook page, Party Grenada's website, the GBN website, www.gbn.gd, GBN TV channel 7, 11, and 20, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, and of course, good morning to the listeners of Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7. To the folks joining us across the Caribbean, whichever part of the region you are, far north as Jamaica, far south as Guyana, far southwest as the ABC Islands, and far northeast as Barbados, all the islands in between, a good spicy Grenadian morning to each and every one of you. And to the folks joining us internationally, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. That covers everybody on this terrific Thursday. No. It's Thankful Thursday. That's right. It's another Thankful Thursday in the land of the living. And let's see what's today's word of the day. This morning's word of the day is rueful. Rueful. R-U-E-F-U-L. Rueful. It's an adjective which means feeling, showing, or expressing sorrow, repentance, or regret. Rueful. The adjective is easy to define. The noun rue comes from Middle English, which means pity, someone or something causing sorrow or a disgrace. The noun ruth means pity, compassion, sorrow, and grief, and it also comes from the Middle English word. Rueful entered English in the first half of the 13th century. This morning's word of the day is rueful, R-U-E-F-U-L. It's an adjective which means feeling, showing, or expressing sorrow, repentance, or regret. Examples of the use of the word: he stood for a moment with his hands held down and a rueful face staring out over the waste that defied him. Another example of the use of the word: often the insight is accompanied by the rueful observation that tweeting is easy. Word of the day, rueful, R-U-E-F-U-L, an adjective which means feeling, showing, or expressing sorrow, repentance, or regret. And as you go about your Thankful Thursday, the thought of today is: worrying doesn't take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. Worrying doesn't take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. We stress and we worry and we rack the brain and we picture scenarios with the worst of outcomes. It takes away from your peace today. And it doesn't help you tomorrow, because sometimes it never happens the way you imagined, the way you worried it into existence. It never happens that way. So you wasted a beautiful day when you could have been having a thankful, peaceful Thursday, stressing about Friday. And Friday comes and it's not what you imagined. Try not to stress too much. Try not to worry too much. Worrying doesn't take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. So just live in a moment and enjoy your day. Don't stress out. Okay, I think that thought is for me. I've been stressing. Okay, I think that one falling apart this morning. Now that I think about it. All right, let's see what's celebrated today, February 18th, 2021. Today it is for the people 21 years and over. It is Global Drink Wine Day. Drink Wine Day. Yes, I inside. This is for the people who are 21 years of age and over. I'm repeating it. So the kids, this is not for you. This is for the adults in your lives. Today it is Drink Wine Day. Whatever your favorite type of wine, whether it's white, red, or rosé, today is the day to indulge just a little bit. It would be a shame to celebrate this only one day a year, and perhaps this day is just a reminder to drink a little bit of wine. Wine does have its benefits after all. Moderate drinkers of wine have lower risks of liver disease, type 2 diabetes, certain kinds of cancer, heart attack, and stroke. It can also reduce the bad cholesterol and increase the good. Moderate drinking. So it is Global Drink Wine Day. And let me repeat the birthday mantra. Don't drink and drive, and don't drive and drink. get it together for all yourself. But today, it is just a little bit when you get home after work. I repeat, when you get home after work, indulge just a little bit in the beverage. If you're 21 years and over, I repeat, the next thing I always say, I tell all the children to drink wine. Nope, not the kids. I'm speaking to the adults 21 years and over. It is Global Drink Wine Day. All right, let's see. Information time. Right, maybe by now, most if not all of you would know that government has amended the curfew hours. It started out 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Then it moved to 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Then 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. And effective today, the 18th, it moves from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. So just 4 hours restricting your movements on a daily basis. Most of us shouldn't be outside them. Could I legal hours? Legal hours. If you're fighting to be out on the road 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., I'll be watching the side eye. You should be in your bed anyway. But nevertheless, restriction of movement between 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. on a daily basis. Slowly but surely we might get there where there's no curfew at all. But I like the curfew. Means most of all you're in all your place at ungodly hours, as we call it. So set up all yourself right and give you a little ease in. See what they do with it. That's what they're doing in it. They're testing us. They're testing us to see how we react to these changes. If all they start to gallivant, we slapping it back from 8 p.m. If all they behave all itself, they might just erase it completely. So set up all yourself right and use it for good. Use the curfew hours for good. 12 a.m. midnight to 4 a.m. daily curfew is in effect. Just 4 hours of restricting your movement for the betterment of the country and keep COVID-19 at bay. So far, we are still at 0 active cases of COVID-19. That's according to the dashboard release on Tuesday. So we are doing great. We are doing well. Let's continue to do what we're doing and don't get lackadaisical and start to spree and gallivant. Just keep that in mind. And finally, before we go to the news, cricket in action continues this morning from 9 a.m. and it would once again see our Grenadians in action as the Windward Island Volcanoes face off against Barbados Pride. That game is scheduled to bowl off at 9 a.m. as I said and will be carried on Classic 105.5, 105.9, which means there is no To The Point program this morning. But tune in to hear the exploits of our Grenadians and the rest of the Windward Island Volcanoes team as they face off against Barbados Pride from 9 a.m. today. All right, it is now 15 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Let's get ready for the morning edition of news and repeat of last evening's newscast. This is Good Morning Grenada on Classic GBN Hot 98. We'll be right back.
This is the GBN television news for Wednesday, February 17th. Where am I going? 2021. I'm Chrislyn Lashington. In the headlines, Grenadians can now enjoy an extra 2 hours before curfew. 66-year-old man was discovered dead on the roadside earlier today. Six Senses Hotel embroiled in controversy again. This time concerns around the salt pond. Citizens who took away pieces of shark told its flesh may not be fit for human consumption. And Acting Chief Medical Officer validates AstraZeneca vaccines received in Grenada. We also head over to the GUT as they speak about the silence in classrooms. Trelana Charles is here with international and sports headlines.
Tonight and around the globe, protests continue as protesters in Myanmar await the release of their leader, and a severe winter storm sweeps the United States. Coming up in sports, the inaugural NLA Grenada Premier League T20 tournament is on this weekend, and Paris Saint-Germain defeats Barcelona in Champions League.
Details right after this message.
Get high making money moves with the NLA's new Aces High Scratch game with 4 chances to win. Beat the dealer's card to win the prize shown. Reveal an A symbol. And just like that, you are automatically a winner. Scratch away to win the top prize of $10,000. Win easy with Scratch. Must be 18 or older to play.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. GBN is following reports that a 66-year-old man was discovered dead on the roadside earlier today, Wednesday, in the St. James area of St. Andrew. Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the discovery and a post-mortem ordered to determine the cause of death. GBN will continue to follow this development and will bring you more details in a later newscast. The daily curfew has been eased further and Grenadians given more time to conduct business. Amendments to Regulations 3 of the principal regulations were made on Wednesday, February 17th, as the start time for the daily curfew moves from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight and ending at 4 a.m. The changes go into effect from Thursday, February 18th as part of the Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulations. As of 4 p.m. on Tuesday, the COVID-19 dashboard for Grenada reported 0 active cases and a total case tally at 148. Leader of the National Democratic Congress, Adrian Thomas, is calling the dumping in the salt pond in Lasaja St. David an environmental crime. He was among several people speaking out on this latest issue. GBN Chrislina John spoke with both Thomas and development partner for the Six Senses Hotel on Wednesday.
The NDC is not against development, especially in St. David, so says NDC acting political leader Adrian Thomas. However, he said it is disheartening to witness what is taking place presently at the site of the Six Senses Hotel in Lasaja, St. David. His concern surrounds the salt pond.
I had the chance to visit the area yesterday. That was on Tuesday afternoon, and I have witnessed that there is an area, a portion of the pond that was dumped to make a road or to make some facility that will accommodate the project, and that means that almost maybe 30% of the pond has been filled. And I do not know, I got from the developer, the construction company, that they will not be filling the entire pond. However, to fill a portion of it, to dump a portion of it, I consider this an economic, environmental crime also.
By the range developers that the natural environment will be preserved as part of their plans. In an exclusive interview on Wednesday with Kamal Scheider, managing partner for Range Development, he says a lot of misinformation is given to the public via social media. He told GBN that allegations are being published without anyone contacting him for an explanation. According to him, they are acting on the advice of professionals in the field of what is best for the area. It is a work in progress, he explained.
A salt pond. We have asked this question, we made our studies, and we asked the question to the environments, please come with your historical data about the salt pond. Because as per our data that we have, and we had it from all people who are living in the area 50, 60, 70 years ago, there was never something called salt pond. It's not a salt pond, it's a pond. And it was connected to the sea. This environmental situation is to reinstate it in the same how it was 50, 60, 70 years ago. And this is what we are designing and what we are doing.
The developer clarifies their intention for the pond, which he says they have blocked at the moment to avoid sludge flowing into the sea.
The plan of the pond now, as it is, as I said, it will be connected to the sea. It will be mangroves will be replanted. Before we were thinking of using the same mangroves, but we have specialized people, and they said no, better to plant when you finish the work, plant so it can hold better and give better. Unfortunate, as I said, everybody here working in a different way. We have advisors in environment to the project, which is 2 professors in the University of Grenada. Fund will be kept, and when they say that, oh, we are reducing the size. Yes, we are reducing the size, but this is based on studies. We calculated how much is the rainwater coming, how much is coming from the mountain, how much is all the things, because all the ground around it had to be left over, so the size will get smaller.
The NDC leader had another concern, that of beach access. This he would like government to come forward and provide an explanation to the populace.
But we the people in St. David's, we'd like to get some information, and the government have to come forward in terms of letting the people have to know exactly what is happening there. They need to explain to the people, will the mangrove be replanted? Will they have access to the Last Pier Beach? What about the bird sanctuary? No, all these things are taking place. Initially, the project started and physical planning had very little involvement in it, and therefore that is not in the best interest of the people. This project lack consultation. The government really and truly did not consult with the people enough, and it is not too late for them to come and have a discussion with the people so that the people can know exactly what is happening there.
Christelina John, GBN News.
The 10-foot shark caught and brought to shore in the south of mainland Grenada on Tuesday may not have been in the best of health, and therefore its flesh is not fit for human consumption. That's the advice of local authorities as they report they were unable to secure a sample of the dead shark to carry out tests to determine its reason for coming ashore. Blossom Alexis Welsh has that story.
Following the capture and killing of a mako shark on Dr. Groom's Beach on Tuesday, members of the public are being warned against eating the meat of the animal, since the reason for it coming close to the shore remains unknown. The 10 to 12-foot shark was seen in the ocean swimming erratically, which is typically unusual behavior for a healthy mako, but it was too weak to put up a fight when it was gaffed and landed shortly after it was sighted. Coordinator of the Marine Protected Area at the Fisheries Division, Orlando Harvey, says local marine authorities are unable to determine what was wrong with the shark, as by the time they got to the scene, the shark was dismembered and distributed for meat.
The sharks are not typically observed in our coastal waters, so for some reason it found its way here. From the communication we had with people on the scene, the shark, when it was observed a little bit further out, it was seen swimming erratically. So it wasn't exhibiting typical behavior for a shark that you would expect. And in those cases, we're not sure exactly what the concern with it is, what the health of the shark is, why it's actually beached. You don't typically find it there, so that's a concern. So we typically, when we have situations like that, we try to advise the public not to consume the meat because we don't know if it's a toxin, if it's a parasite, what is the issue with the shark that it found itself in our coastal waters. But we weren't sure if the shark was in the process of dying, so it's kind of hard to tell those kind of things if we don't have material, tissue and stuff to test and do the proper analysis that we're supposed to do.
All that was left on the beach was the head, fins and stomach of the shark. He notes, however, contrary to information being circulated on social media, no plastic or plastic material was found in the shark's mouth or stomach. Mr. Harvey says it is not typical to find that species of shark in Grenada's coastal waters, which is a cause for concern. However, bringing it ashore should not have been the first action.
If it was up to the division, the shark would not have been killed that way or killed at all. We would have tried to maybe lead the shark back offshore and see if it could revive itself. So to have people seeing a shark and physically going out and capturing it and bringing it ashore, that's something a little bit alarming. Another one of the things we don't want to have is where people saying that we have aggressive or ferocious sharks in our water and we need to go out and catch sharks. That's not what we're saying, because, for example, the shark fin mako is an endangered species. The long fin is vulnerable globally, so there are species that are threatened threatened by, I guess, from fishing activities over the decades. So it's species that we don't want to have captured or removed unnecessarily. So I really hope that we don't have another encounter.
Mr. Harvey suggests marine authorities across the Caribbean need to collaborate, as there have been similar occurrences observed with these oceanic shark species in neighboring islands of St. Kitts and Nevis and Dominica in recent months. Blossom Alexis Welsh, GBN News.
Since the arrival of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine last week and its administration to government officials and frontline workers, several concerns have been raised by members of the public concerning the safety of the vaccine and its origin. Details in this report.
Following the issuance of vaccines recently to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell and health officials on Friday and frontline workers on Tuesday, concerns were raised over why Grenada is using the AstraZeneca vaccine, which has been turned away by some international countries. Acting Chief Medical Officer in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Sean Charles, says these countries have suspended the use of that particular vaccine with reason.
When countries make decisions for different reasons, all right, it does not necessarily have to do with the fact that there is an issue with the vaccine. Now, I am aware that South Africa will not be using it, or they've taken the decision to not use it because there was a small study that was conducted there, and it showed that against the variant that is circulating in South Africa, all right, there was minimal efficacy, all right, meaning that there was minimal. The vaccine was minimally effective at protecting persons from moderate to severe disease in South Africa. What we must be aware of is that there are a number of variants of the COVID-19 virus that are circulating in the world.
Responding to reports of a fake vaccine in distribution originating from China, Dr. Charles said the vaccine Grenada received has been approved by the World Health Organization.
The vaccine that we have in supply is the AstraZeneca vaccine. Remember, there are many vaccine candidates out there, all right? It is the AstraZeneca vaccine. It is the same vaccine that was granted approval by WHO, for emergency use on Monday. It's the AstraZeneca vaccine. It's a vaccine that was developed between AstraZeneca and University of Oxford in the UK. The vaccine is produced in the Serum Institute of India, which is the largest vaccine manufacturing facility in the world. All right, the largest vaccine manufacturing facility in the world. Many of the vaccines from the COVAX facility, this is where the vaccines are made.
The World Health Organization on Monday listed AstraZeneca and Oxford University's COVID-19 vaccine for emergency use, widening access to the relatively inexpensive shot in the developing world. The vaccination is free of cost and is not mandatory to the public. For GBN News, Beverly Tellisford.
Health Minister Nicholas Steele says the answer to all our questions is simple: the COVID-19 vaccine. During a recent press briefing, Minister Steele said in order for things to be restored, everyone must be open to the hope the COVID-19 vaccine provides.
All of the concerns that have been raised here today, outside of the direct questions on vaccination, in terms of schools back to normalcy, in terms of quarantine, in terms of curfew, in terms of size of gathering, on each and every one of those questions and concerns, the true answer is vaccination. How long will we have to keep a curfew and a risk until we have enough citizens vaccinated? How long will we have to keep quarantine policies until we have enough people vaccinated? How long before our kids can go back to school normal until we have enough people vaccinated? How long do we have to keep wearing the mask once we're in public areas, or keep the 6-foot distancing if we are anywhere not wearing the mask? Until we have enough people vaccinated.
The health minister said vaccines have proven to be effective in the past in preventing mass infection and major disruptions across the world from even some of the most deadly diseases.
We have not had to close schools, wear masks, and have quarantine for measles, rubella, polio, because we have enough people vaccinated. If we did not have enough people vaccinated for any of those diseases, and a case introduced, or there was a risk of a case coming, we would have to adopt the same measures. The science has not changed with respect to how to deal with infectious diseases. So let us acknowledge the fact that COVID-19, being a new disease, forced us to take these measures because the populations of the world were not vaccinated or immune to it.
The Grenada Union of Teachers has responded to the concept that some of their industrial actions can generate a form of psychological effect on students. This, they say, is far from the truth, as they engage in a different form of teaching. More in this report.
Silence in the classroom is a form of differentiating teaching and not in any way an act to affect students emotionally or psychologically. In fact, according to Kenny James, past president of the Grenada Union of Teachers, a silent class is a time for reflective learning. He said that today, teachers in Grenada have never failed their students.
It affords him or her the opportunity to appreciate that there must be moments of silence, and for good purpose. COVID-19 hit last year. As a country, while the region was making noise about results, we were woefully silent. Why? Because our teachers did their jobs. So the teachers of this country has proven to you, the citizens, that these things about teachers, when we take action, would negatively affect your children and your child's results. These are only fallacies.
The notion that the action of teachers can create an emotional or psychological strain on students is a strategy that is used to get the public's eyes off what is important.
What is important is for you to understand that we are Grenadians just like you. We are parents just like you. And we want every Grenadian child to succeed. But in that success, we must be given what is justly ours. And you work with us to get that. We work the magic with your children, that you, your children, and the nation is satisfied with the intellectual and educational successes.
The former GUT president says that the action of teachers is a lesson for all students, some that can create an intellectual revolution on the island.
Here's what. As a young person in Grenada, you have to learn to stand up for what is right and what is justly yours. And if this is the only lesson you would learn in this process, learn it and learn it well. When it is yours, when it is right, you fight for it. You stand up for it because it is right, it is just. And once we as a country could appreciate that, we have begun an intellectual revolution to transform the minds of our people.
James was speaking at Wednesday's press conference held by members of the GUT. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Executive members of the Grenada Union of Teachers say that while they are working toward a solution to government's refusal to honor their 4% salary increase, they will continue with protest action until both parties meet a common understanding. We hear more in this Rena Pear report.
After meeting with Grenada teachers last week, President of the Grenada Union of Teachers, Marvin Andel, says they are holding strong in the fight to obtain what is rightfully theirs. Andel says that teachers both on the mainland and in Carriacou and Petite Martinique are strongly behind them and are ready to march again this coming Friday.
We have 3 matches on Friday. There will be a march in St. George, starting in front of PW, led by the PW. We'll have one and starting at Carlton Junction on Friday, and there will be one in Hillsborough. So we continue our actions, and we continue to have the overwhelming support of our members.
To date, teachers have not received that 4% salary increase due to them at the end of January by the employers, after teachers refused the government's deferral request. The president says despite continuing with the industrial actions, they are trying to resolve the issues in other forms.
We have engaged the Labour Commissioner. We have a dispute resolution process as set out in our collective agreement. We would go by our agreement. Our agreement says that if there is a grievance coming out of the agreement, what should happen? And we have begun following that process. We engaged the Labour Commissioner. We wrote to him on the 28th of January. We had a meeting with him on the 9th of February. And this Friday, he has invited us to meet with him and the government team to discuss our grievance. So the process of trying to find resolution is on.
Andels was speaking at a press briefing held by GUT on Wednesday. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Trade unionist Brian Grimes believes that the survival of the trade union movement is at stake in the fight for the 4% increase in salaries. Thus, he's calling for a date to be set in writing from the government as to when they will pay salary increases to public workers. Gerard Joseph has that story.
There are some workers that, truthfully, they are of the thinking, well, it's a pandemic period and they have the national interest at heart. But I can tell you, in speaking to workers, no worker is of the belief that the government can unilaterally say, when we have the money, we go pay you. That is unacceptable. So a date needs to be stated. State the date.
State the date. This is the request or demand by trade unionist Brian Grimes, who also responded to local pundits who believe this is not the right time for industrial actions.
The 4% is not going to be used to increase the standard of living. Based on inflation, it is just to maintain a standard of living and just keep it on the borderline. Everybody in Grenada knows that prices for commodities, foodstuff, everything is going up. So that 4% is just to maintain, not asking for much.
Grimes expounds on why he believes this fight involves the survival of the labor movement, citing that workers and unions have no choice but to fight.
Within the last 3 years in Grenada, we have seen treaties broken coming from the memorandum of understanding signed our pension. That was broken. The workers subsequently took action, took to the streets, and then ruthlessly and viciously their salaries were docked during a Christmas period in 2018, right? So this happened. In that same period, we have seen the proliferation of contract work. Right? And now we are seeing that our employer, they are basically unilaterally violating the terms and conditions of a signed agreement.
The rights of workers and the integrity of the labor movement, he says, are under siege and are being undermined by the actions of government. The trade unionist says the ball is now in the government's court.
All the government has to do is come back to the table with the unions and ensure that a date is stated. State the date, right? The movement deserves it, the workers deserve it, and the country deserves it. Because I'll tell you what, the movement and the labor unions have absolutely no choice but to fight for their rights in this matter. If they do not fight, and we see a trend where the employer can simply break something or say, whenever we have the money, we're going to pay. The professionalism, the integrity of signed agreements will go down the drain. So we are asking as a worker, as a trade unionist, that the government calls the union back to the table, because for the sake of the children, for the sake of the general public, peace will be the optimum end game.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
As a sales agent, I do my best and I'm pretty good at my job. As a son, I show mad love for my mom. I'm the cool uncle. There's a babysitter whenever my sister needs me. I'm in love and I make my boyfriend very happy. But because of the law, none of that matters if I'm gay.
Speak out against the discrimination of Grenadians based on sexual orientation. Support the repeal of Section 431. A message from ECADE. For more information, visit www.ecequality.org.
Will you see all of me?
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
State-of-the-art Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec. We are united even when we are apart.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
We understand it can be hard getting from the bus terminal to the Kerani James Athletic Stadium just to get your fresh fruits and veggies. But guess what? Your troubles are over. Enjoy a free bus shuttle from the bus terminal to the temporary market at the Kerani James Stadium
every Friday and Saturday until the end of March.
Let us buy local, eat local, and support our local market vendors.
according to your knowledge and your will for me. What you say you have done, I just need to align, no, because you are not a man that changes your mind, oh. Those that know you will trust in you, not in horses and chariots. By the arm of flesh, no man can prevail. No man, no man, no man, no man. My confidence is you. What is hard for you? It can never exist. Oh, you do not lie, you do not fail. What is hard for you to do? It doesn't exist. Oh, it can never ever exist. Oh, you do not lie, you do not fail. What is hard for you to do? It can never ever exist. Oh, those I know you will trust in you, not in horses and chariots. By the arm of flesh, no man can prevail. Ask Abraham and Sarah, and the woman with the issue of blood. Oh, nothing hard for you. Ask Mama, oh, blind Bartimaeus, make you go as the Israelites. Absolutely nothing hard for you. No man, no man, no man. My confidence is you. What is hard for you? It can never exist. Oh, you do not lie. Oh,
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It is 19 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Those of you who are just joining us, happy to have you. And those of you who stuck with us, thank you for your patience. It is Talk the Things Thursday. That's right. Going to give you a topic and you're going to share your thoughts, respectfully share your thoughts on what you think the topic is. This morning, we're going to talk the things about an excerpt. I'm going to play you an excerpt from a news story aired in last evening's newscast on GBN TV. And this one is called Differentiating Teaching. Let's go to the excerpt and then we'll talk after that.
Silence in the classroom is a form of differentiating teaching and not in any way an act to affect students emotionally or psychologically. In fact, according to Kenny James, past president of the Grenada Union of Teachers, a silent class is a time for reflective learning. He said that today, teachers in Grenada have never failed their students.
It affords him or her the opportunity to appreciate that there must be moments of silence and for good purpose. COVID-19 hit last year. As a country, while the region was making noise about results, we were woefully silent. Why? Because our teachers did their jobs. So the teachers of this country has proven to you, the citizens, that these things about teachers, when we take action, would negatively affect your children and your child's results. These are only fallacies.
That's from last evening's newscast, Differentiating Teaching. Since the Union of Teachers and Public Workers Union in Tahu, they have been putting measures in place to press government for the 4% salary increase for public officers and teachers. As part of the protests, some teachers have been going into their classrooms and not verbally communicating with their students. Some are putting the school work for the school day on the chalkboard. Some are staying in the classroom silently. Others are leaving after putting up the work. And the Grenada Union of Teachers, via Mr. James, is calling it differentiating teaching. What do you think about that? It has a term, differentiating teaching. Share your thoughts on that. The landline number, it's 435-2041. The WhatsApp number, it's also 435-2041. Please, only written messages on WhatsApp. WhatsApp. You can also share your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns. Talk the things on the GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Talk the things Thursday, differentiating teaching. What do you think about the concept? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning, Tanti. How you do?
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm hanging in there.
All right, stay
hanging. It's a long time I did not hear your voice.
A day, man.
We didn't get to chat because you always have a guest or someone.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I get to call you this morning. They wish you all the best, and I didn't give you a hot Valentine's love. But every day is Valentine's Day because we have to love. And if we have love, we have everything. We have to love and tell someone you love them every day. You have to tell your husband you love your mother, your daughter, your children, everybody. Friends and relatives, just tell someone that you love them and you care.
Okay.
Because love is what we made out of.
All right.
So what are we talking about this morning?
Differentiating teaching, teachers not verbally communicating with their students. What do you think about it?
I think the teachers should pay attention to the children because they depend on them. And they stay home to get the lesson that teachers at school. They send the lesson home to them and do it all. I have 3 home by myself right here now. And everybody says, no, go to school. I say, you all go to school? Yes, we do in school at home. Teachers have to know they are there to help the children, to protect them, and to learn them their lessons. So what they learn from them, they could reap tomorrow. And I think the government will treat the teachers with love. Now remember, they are the teachers to teach the children of the nation. And if you offer them something, give it to them. They are not mouth on the ground. They are not beggars. They're asking for what they are due to get. So we must treat them with love. They have patience with the children. They are the mothers and the fathers. When parents come to their workplace, the teachers are the parents for the children. They take care of them, and they do a hard day's work when the day comes. So give them what is due to them. They work hard, and they need something more. Let them stop begging. You're tired of the teachers begging the government, and they're not taking no note of them. When you make a promise, you're supposed to fulfill your promise. Give somebody some, you offer them something, they're looking forward for it. Every day say, hey, you don't give me what you offer me? Take it to the Lord in prayer. Just give the teachers what they do to them. Give them what is fine, what is theirs. They work hard for it, and they're taking care of the children. This is the nation's children, and we want it to be wrong. So they have to call someone to teach them what is right and what is wrong. Have a blessed day, Blossom.
You too, Tanti.
Love you.
Love. Enjoy your day to the fullest. Differentiating teaching, that's the term being given for the teachers not verbally communicating with their students on a daily basis. According to the Union of Teachers, they had a news conference yesterday, and according to the union, some of the feedback that they've been getting says that this action can generate a form of psychological effect on the students. And they say that this is far from the truth as they engage in a different form of teaching. What are your thoughts on this? Would it have a psychological effect on the children, or is this just a different form of teaching and would not affect the children at all? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Bless.
Morning, how you do?
I'm fine, you know.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Bless, I quite agree with the teachers, you know. In one sense, when Cuthbert was Minister of Works, the same thing he do Blaze with the same teachers, he falling back on him. That's why you see, before Blaze dead, Blaze say what goes wrong comes wrong. And when you get a kick from a dying house, is a kick you get. That is the same thing happening to Cuthbert right now. I christen him, you know. I baptize him. He's not Claudius again. He's Cuthbert Mitchell.
I always wanted to ask, why Cuthbert?
Yeah.
Why Cuthbert?
Well, I would christen him. He christened when he was just born. He baptized when he was just born. But I baptized him in 70-something years of age.
All right, fair enough. All right.
You understand?
Understand. Thank you.
Nice day.
You too.
Bye.
I was just curious. Always when he calls, he refers to Cuthbert. I always was curious. Why Cuthbert? All right, let's go. Differentiated teaching. People are concerned that it can generate a form of psychological effect on the students, but the GUT says this is far from the truth as this is just a different form of teaching. What are your thoughts on the different form, or would it affect the children, your children? Let me see. WhatsApp says the bottom line is tell the government to pay the people their money. Another WhatsApper says, Our teachers deserve respect, not constant bashing like they're glad they have a job. But it was teachers who toiled and sweat to educate you to be who you are, so their silence is perfect. Children are smart and they are not affected. They are now showing the love and support to their teachers. Our children love their teachers and will learn by their example. Big up our teachers and public officers. Do you think silent teaching would affect your children psychologically, or do you think it's just a different form of teaching? Let me go back to the social media while we wait on the phone. Phone lines 3, 2, 1. All right, back to WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says the teachers are right. I remember 2018 when they stayed at home. Up to this day, the government refuses to pay them. All right, let me see. Somebody else on WhatsApp says Hold on. I need to be cautious. It already starts sticky. Somebody on WhatsApp says differentiated teaching my foot. Differentiated teaching my foot. Speak to the children and teach the children how they are accustomed. The sudden change is not doing them any good. It is not helping them. Go back to talking and stop this nonsense. All right. Sometimes you just have to be a bit careful and change up 1 or 2 words. All right. Let me see phone lines. Good morning, caller. Good morning. Buenos dias. A bonjour. All right, let me go back to the WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, oh yes, the children look forward to the classroom. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Good morning. I'm good. How you do?
Bright and sunny.
Amen. I like that.
Yeah. The topic is teachers.
Yes, it is.
But I would like to say something about the shark, I know if it's possible.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, well, what I want to say is the shiting of these sharks, right or wrong now, that is abnormal for the younger folks. And those folks over there, they didn't, the other day in Groom Speech, they didn't know how to handle the shark. All they have to do is to leave it. Because from me living on this area and this side, growing up in the 50s and 60s, around the plum season, we always sighting sharks all around from in the bottom of Flamboyant right up to Chublugu, the whole circle. Lighthouse is used to be a famous sighting for sharks. Sharks are always in that area. But the sharks don't do anything. When you see that, you'll just leave them, look at them. Sometimes they come and they stay around 2 or 3 days and they go. But that particular shark, when I look at it, what I see, that shark, the pilot lost. It lost its pilot. So that have it gone astray. Because even when we fish in Lighthouse and we see these big sharks, sometimes they have 2 or 3 pilots on them. One of the pilots may come to our bait and then they lead it to the shark, but then we pull our bait from the shark, away from the shark. But the shark and them, how that shark is, I can see definitely that it lost the pilot. So it go astray. But sometimes what will happen is stay 3 or 4 days around, and if they don't get back the pilot, some of them just die. But even whaling, we could have stayed up. Things change now. Even whaling, those are the whales. We could have stayed up, that rock and plain view, and then you can see 5 and 6 whales, sometimes 3, 2, 1 in a line going up in 50s and 60s. But nowadays the people don't have the years of experience, so some of the things that they've seen, it's new for them, but it's a normal thing.
Okay.
Leave the sharks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. You know what? We can add the shark discussion to this morning's Talk the Things Thursday, considering that there is no To The Point this morning, as well as no open line to the point tomorrow, please a lot, because of cricket. We can add the shark to the discussion if you would like. So this morning we're talking the things on 2 things: differentiating teaching and Mako shark that was gaffed and landed at Dr. Groom's on Tuesday. That's what we'll talk the things. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Cheetah. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Right. I'm not calling to bash Mr. James and the teachers for what they are doing, for the action they are taking. But I want to ask Mr. James and his companions, or tell them, walk into your house every morning, every evening, your children is there, and just walk and be silent and tell me the result you're going to get. Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much, caller. Somebody on WhatsApp says, children look forward to the classroom. They will grieve. Parents don't waste money for silence. Total nonsense. Another WhatsApper says, differentiating teaching the best, but this government needs a real lash of praise to put sense in their head and remove all evil. Praise in their coach. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Blossom.
Morning.
The thing about the question you asked is a very complex question. Because you could be accused, or if you answer it one way or the other. But I think I will sum up what is happening as a lack of leadership on the part of those people who could influence the situation in Grenada, because we don't think about consequences, either by the action of those who have power or those who don't have power and reaction. I think about South Africa. After 1976, when the students revolt, when most of the children didn't go to school and what is happening now. But there will be some consequence. But to lay blame, say, on the teachers, I don't think that is appropriate. What we have to do is to get our leaders to do what they have to do. Compensate the teachers to avoid it. And my belief is that because those in power do not care about the future. In fact, somebody told me the other day that if the people in power had cared about the future, a lot of the things they're doing, they would not do it, whether it's in the environment, whether it's in the economy, whether in the social fabric. Look, we have destroyed community development. I mean, there's no sense of community in the country. So there's some people who just lend their ego, on display. So in relation to the shack, by the way, I wish we could have a more relaxed conversation around the issue of the differentiated teaching, because reflective teaching reflected education have a role. In fact, that is being promoted a lot, but the manner in which it is done, that could be called into question. But at least, even in the churches, a lot of churches have a lot of noise and no time for reflection. That is important, silence, but maybe how it's being done now, maybe that could be questioned. Now, in terms of the issue of the shock, it shows the barbarism of our people. Anything, whether it's iguana, anything that comes in people's way and they think they can eat it, they devour it. And maybe we're lucky that this shark wasn't poisonous or whatever. Most of the people would have died. It shows also the ignorance, the arrogance, and the lack of appreciation for the different aspects, the different elements of nature. Everything has its purpose, and we have to learn what's the purpose of everything. And I don't think that is a good reflection. People will say, oh, you have to be careful because what you say. But look, this is a bad reflection of the nature of our people in the open world. So that anything comes our way. If we think it's food, we will eat it, even though it will kill us. It's unfortunate. But that's the way we have become.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Talk the Things Thursday, differentiated teaching in the classroom, meaning teaching in silence. And we're also speaking about the shark, the gaffing and landing of the shark on Dr. Grooms on Tuesday afternoon. Do you think it could have been handled better? Do you think it should have been caught and killed? Or do you think it should have just been, shoot away? I like shoot away. Do you think the shark should have been shoot away or should it have been killed in truth? Social media, I'm coming right back. Good morning, caller.
Pleasant good morning to you.
Morning.
No, the callers, we see that you won't bash the teachers. In my view, this whole action is stupid, senseless, and they like all the adjectives I can use to describe this kind of action. Silence, how could silence be another form of teaching? The question about it, in order that students could learn, communication has to go between teacher and children. As a matter of fact, I, again, at this point in time, would ask this question: where are the parents? Parents should be there behind the teachers. Are they only interested in a child getting to secondary school to passing the exam, the common entrance? And the answer is no. The fact that the government is being that stubborn and don't want to give the teachers their due. I mean, this is all nonsense. The fact is that the PM was a teacher, and he knows what it takes to be a teacher. Teachers, a serious teacher who has his class at heart, 1, 2 o'clock, still trying to find ways and means to communicate to the slow student, to get him or her to understand a particular concept. One other thing, where the rest of the unions, before there was this unity, and I cannot understand it. How could a teacher just go into a classroom, write something on the board, and you just walk away? Go before your class, you sit down, you're not. This is all nonsense. What kind of president has GUT? I mean, they need a proper bashing. This is not the kind of action and thing that must be done. What happened to the children? Already just a minute, already COVID-19 has things in a topsy-turvy manner. If you are serious about the children and their future, you shut the place down, and I've been and said that shut the place down. The other unions get there in support, and that's the only way you will get a response. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me go to some WhatsApp questions before we take the break. Somebody on WhatsApp says, what happens when a child doesn't understand a concept? How is clarification had? Another WhatsApper says, teach for the love of the children, please. Deal with the government on another level, not this way. Another WhatsApper, the struggle is real and children have to be educated about these situations so they can understand. I think our government is too heavy-handed and unfair. When they so please, they find money for other things. In a similar situation years ago, Dr. Mitchell told striking teachers to keep the pressure on the Herbert Blaise administration. So what goes around comes around. Pay our teachers, period. YouTuber says teachers will exercise silence to give students time to think, but teachers need to talk. Talking is a must. And I'll read this Facebook question before we go to the break. Teachers, everyone talking about the teachers shouldn't be silent in the classroom, but the government is silent about their money owed to them. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to continue Talk the Things Thursday, differentiated teaching, and the shark landing in the south of the island on Tuesday. Talk the Things, we'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again. At Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product Detox Combo Pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 418-7753 or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Imagine your day without having to wait in line, without having to write at every store, without touching the pen everyone else used, having your info exposed to everyone. Sounds great, huh? Well, it's possible. Here is TEDA. With TEDA, you download once, register once, and just scan to check in everywhere. No hassle, no forms, no hold up. Simple and easy. TEDA lets you explore, discover new places, new products, and new experiences. What are you waiting for? Get TEDA for free from your app store today and enjoy contactless convenience.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again. At Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product Detox Combo Pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way. From birth to graduation, your first job to your home, and your card through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs, including financial literacy quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso program, junior cooperatives in secondary schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada, Talk the Things Thursday. This morning we're talking differentiated teaching. Some people have expressed concern that the teachers being silent in the classroom, not verbally communicating with the students, is a form of psychological I don't want to say abuse. It would affect the children psychologically. The teachers are saying this is just a different form of teaching. We're also talking the things about the shark which was gaffed and landed at Dr. Groom's on Tuesday. Back to the landline. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Good morning. How you do?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm great.
Yes, this form of teaching, I think it is an emotional. It's problem for the children emotionally. I think we need more psychologists in this country. These people are doing this thing to get at the children, to get at the government. The government and the union must sit down and talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Somebody on Facebook says the teachers have all right to use whatever is at their disposal to press home their advantage. Those who care so much about the children must demonstrate their support for those who teach the children. Teach the children all you love so much. Stop the hypocrisy, please. WhatsApp. Somebody on WhatsApp says, good morning. These actions will surely affect the children. Some teachers are doing their best and some have already received money they did not work for. Ask about the punctuality, preparedness and love for children. I want the government to pay them, but in God's sight they will pay. Mr. James is talking nonsense. Talk the Things Thursday. Reminder, the landline number is 435-2041. WhatsApp number is also 435-2041. We're doing great. Only written messages on the WhatsApp. And you can also talk the things on the GBN, Grenada Broadcasting Network's Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
Morning. How you do?
Good.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's sad to see what's going on. What we see happening in this country is pure capitalism. And capitalism to the bone. Where sectors where you don't have a quick return of, finance, education, agriculture, those areas are not given priority. We're looking at tourism, where tourists come, you spend $1 one time, we have money in hand. We're not looking to make long-term investment. And the way how I've seen the government handling the teachers, handling the Ministry of Education of the nation, is pathetic. They are not supporting that sector the way they should, so that we will have a bright nation. In a couple of years to come, we're going to have a dunce nation. Yeah, because we're not placing emphasis on education in this country. No, which is an investment for like 10 years to come, 5-10 years to come. But when we treating education like that, and we're not supporting the teachers how they ought to be supported, we're setting up ourselves for a dunce nation to come.
Okay.
Sad.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
And the next thing is, when you have a poor human resource, uneducated staff, you are more able to control them.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's what I find that's what the shit them setting us up for.
Okay.
Sad to say.
Thank you. Let me go to WhatsApp in the meantime. WhatsApper says the government remaining silent on teachers' salary is affecting them psychologically, financially, and emotionally. Yet they continue to support the students and their families. Help teachers continue to do their work. By the way, not all teachers are remaining silent. It's impossible to do that. Noted. I know there are Form 5 students who are teaching as normal. Can I say as normal? Teaching as normal. Verbally communicating with their students. Another WhatsApper. Anyone who is against differentiation in the classroom knows nothing about teaching. Keep it up, teachers. You need to do more. Fight what is just and right. Some parents don't even listen to their own children and don't even speak to them. Teachers you all have strength with. Teachers, don't give up. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sister. How are you?
Morning, I'm good. How you do?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, go
Let me
ahead.
tell you something. People need to blame the main culprit, who is the PM. They take everything they want for themselves. They make everything nice for them. They're making everything nice for the people. A lot of people in Grenada don't walk in and they're getting a big salary. A lot of people who retired getting 3 times the salary they used to work for as a teacher or whatever in the public service or wherever they was. So the teachers who need their money need to get their money right now. People have no right to play with the to pay with what is the deserving money they work hard for. Nobody to play with that. Nobody to play with their wages. Not even the PM will do that for himself. So give those teachers their money. Too much of free money sharing all around Grenada while people working hard can get this. Pay the teachers and the public servants. They need the money right now, Mr. PM.
Thank you very much, caller. WhatsApper says the media needs to speak to the children on how they feel about the situation. Mr. James can't speak for them. I'm suggesting GBN goes to the different schools and speak to the children about it. It's easier said than done. There's a lot of red tape that need to be gone through, that we need to go through if we need to speak with the children. And for a matter like this, I don't see it coming out positively. We need to ask for permission. Let me put it that way. We need to ask for permission to speak with children. The children are not ours, and they are not adults to make the decision on their own. So we need to speak with the teachers, the principals. Sometimes, according to where the situation is, it may be parents. But going to the school, I'm not sure the teachers would tell us, yeah, talk to the children in case the children are not favorable. Let me put it that way. And some instances, the request has to go through the principal to the Ministry of Education. Somebody on WhatsApp says, I think they should charge those responsible for killing the shark. Another WhatsApper, hold on, let me see if I see another shark-related WhatsApp comment before I go back to the teachers. Okay, no. All right, so let me go back to the teachers in the meantime. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, the teachers are right. I remember in 2018 when they stayed at home. Up to this day, government refuses to pay them. Cuthbert needs to get his butt out. Please pay the 4% and the teachers will return to teaching. Good morning, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Could, just speak up a little bit, please. Having difficulties hearing you.
Yeah, comment.
All right. Yes, go ahead.
Blossom?
Uh-huh.
You could remember when Keith had lost the election, I think it was in 2008. Remember he make noise with Tillman for 2 days pay?
I remember that.
2008. You remember he go back and make noise with Tillman 2 days he work before he lose the election? That wicked man. That wicked man. And people will still came to call a man wicked. 2 days pay, make tell Tillman pay by 2 days. May the good Lord bless him.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. Another WhatsApper says, teachers were silent for 1 day. Tell me how that will affect the children, and not all teachers did it. It wasn't 1 day, writer. It is still happening, actually. So this would bring it into the second or third week. I believe it's the second week of differentiated teaching. Another WhatsApper, every action affects someone or everyone one way or the other. It may be positive or negative. The teacher's action could be a positive for the students. Doesn't it affect them when a teacher asks them to stand quietly in a corner as a corrective or punitive measure? Our students and people as a whole need to learn to adjust to situations. That's why we had trouble trying to control COVID. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
Yeah, this situation with the teachers, I think could be dealt with much better than that. Because, look, the COVID thing is going on, and they got the salaries were paid. The Prime Minister didn't say, or the country didn't say they would not pay. It's just a matter of waiting.
Okay. Okay.
So this going to school and not teaching the children is out of order.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you. All right. Back on Facebook. Somebody on Facebook, let me see, right. Somebody on Facebook says, we have to realize that Grenadians eat shark, and if the one found wandering, they will kill it, and it happens in many ways where turtles come up to lay and be killed in the same way. So I think we need to educate our people on things like that, because it can't be dangerous in some cases where the subject can be sick and causes death. So we have to be mindful how we go about killing and eating things that come to our shores. Another comment on Facebook, as I remember, the PM promised that he and his ministers will teach when the teachers stay home. So I think the opportunity reached where the PM and the cabinet get to teach our young ones, as he said he will do in the past. And somebody's remembering when the government had to pay him for the 2 days the Prime Minister Mitchell remained in office prior to the 2008 election. All right, I'll only have time for maybe 3 more comments on the WhatsApp. Somebody says, I am for the teachers, but that silent treatment to students is just pure malice. Why do it now? Why not 2 years ago? Children need interaction. Teachers, stop being so childish. It's no, because it's no that they can't get the promised 4% salary increase. Another WhatsApper, what's the point of putting work on the board when the students can't even ask a question if they don't understand? And the final comment, there are quite a few. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eye and click on one. All right, this person says, the parents who don't appreciate our teachers should teach their children. They send them to school with no lunch, pens, etc., and the same teachers take their money and buy to give them. So if their silence at school hurts you, ask them. The children support their teachers' plight for their 4%. Stop the nonsense. Teachers, all you have to do to get what all you worked for. And that would be the final comment I can read for now as we close off Talk the Things Thursday. Thank you so much for participating, and thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Always appreciate it when you participate and you share your thinking with us, what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're talking. It's now time to prepare for the 8 a.m. newscast by the BBC. Remember, coming up at 9:45, we would start the broadcast of this morning's Super 50 cricket match between the Windward Island Volcanoes and Barbados Pride, if my memory serves me correctly. That game starts at 9, but the pre-game commentary starts at 1:45. Have yourselves a safe and productive Thursday. Be safe, be good. If you can't be good, be cautious. Be COVID-19 smart as well. Bye-bye.